ดีครับ
เดี๋ยวครับเอ้าเข้ามาแล้วเหรอแป๊บหนึ่งครับสักครู่นะอ่ะสักครู่ครับพ่อหนุ่ม โอเคพร้อมนะครับ first driving โอเคนะครับเอ่ทีนี้เราจะมาโฟกัสหน้านี้นะครับมีทั้งหมด4ข้อ alright so for today class we are going to cover for four questions here right speaking part two so basically it's about like you have to talk about storytelling, right? Based on the information given here. So the first question is that describe how and why people choose the particular food they eat. Okay, this is the first question, right? I'm going to make an example for you first, and then I will give you a time to prepare for that, and we can practice speaking together. And second question is that describe various style of shoes as well as reason for their popularity. Okay. Um, so next question is that mathematics is a required subject and explain why it is so important. Okay. And next one is that discuss the courses and the courses of right and the problems resulting from teenage smoking. That's it. Okay, good. I'm going to do the example for you first for the first question. Okay, A, right? Describe how and why people choose to particular food they eat. Okay, so to me, I'm going to explain and describe how and why people choose the particular food they eat. For example, like those people who have the basically people can choose what particular food they eat because they have the different types of belief, different type of behavior, and different type of culture in the diversity context. I'm going to say that the first thing is that just because they're gonna have a different belief, which is lead them to eat some particular food as they believe. For example, like for a Muslim society, they cannot even eat some pork. This is the reason that it is generally believed that it is prohibited from their own culture or even religious belief. So this is really important for to those people who have a strong belief with a meat, so they try to avoid eating meat instead of vegetable. So this is really important just because from a Western or even Eastern countries, they may have their own perception, their own particular belief, and they just eat some particular food just because they believe that they can eat or cannot eat here. So I think that the second reason is that just because the reason for that they might have some kind of food restriction just because they hate lifestyle or healthy lifestyle. To those people who become vegetarian, they just because they just want to eat for some kind of food that can be avoided from meat because meat cannot be a good for them. So this is the reason why that they try to become vegetarian and try to eat for some particular food instead of eat everything that they can eat. And lastly, I think just because the differences of cultural diversity in each region, especially in Thailand country, we can see that from the northeastern region, they may have some belief and cultural behavior that is different from other part of original in Thailand. For example, they can eat some kind of frog instead of other thing that it might not be allowed to eat it. So this is the reason why that different people may have different tastes of particularly different food they eat. That's it. อ่ะเดี๋ยวพี่ให้เวลา10 นาทีนะโอเคป่ะข้อ A นะข้อ A นะครับ
Okay.
นะครับ
Discuss how and why people choose the particular foods they eat. Mm, because is someone can eat shrimp and someone can't eat shrimp. Yes,
Mm,
because uh I don't know in English. It have an effect when you eat shrimp. Yes.
mm, mm,
This quite various style of shoes as well as reason for their popularity. I'm not sure. Math is a liquid subject. Explain why it is so important. Because it can use everything in life is need to use math.
mm,
Yes.
mm,
Uh, this is the curse of and primary searching from teenager smoking. Um, I think is they have um I don't know English word
mhm,
is strength.
mm.
Yes, or serious. Yes, it's really serious, and I think is I I don't know more. Yes, because is someone will do because see someone do. Yes.
Okay. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Okay, I'm going to do some sample for question B, right? And question C and also question D, right? If we can talk or describe a various style of shoes as well as the reason for their popularity, I can first start with just because everyone have their own taste and personality and even style of shoes, right? Just because I think that for those people who are really become a formal way or professional setting, they can choose the style of shoe in a different way. For example, like people who are working in at the office, they can choose cut shoe for the shoes just because it is a part of their formal way to work in professional setting. Some people may feel that the style of shoe may be easygoing for such a sport or even outgoing to other people too, just because I think that playing with various kind of sport, right? We have to make sure that these shoes are comfortable or even convenient to those kind of thing. So this is really important for them to choose the shoe as well as the reason for their popularity. Another part of the style of shoes, I think, is about fashion trends. Just because we have to follow the trending or the way that a style of shoes can be really matters for other people to use or wearing it. This is really important just because it may heavily depend on their fashion style. Then it turned out to be some kind of things that we are going to see that other people may perceive for such a style of shoes and their own popularity here. Okay. Next, I'm going to explain for math. Math is required subject and explain why it is important. As you mentioned earlier, I can say that mathematics is a fundamental and mandatory or required subject that everyone have to understand and understand for daily life. That's because it masters your calculation, your logical skill, and your thinking skill. That is the reason why that it is very important for everyone to understand the math required, right? And I think that just because for children, they can think logically and easily understand something for more subtract or even abstract thing with mathematics or calculation. So this is a reason why that mathematics is a fundamental subject that everyone have to study and take course from time to time. Another version of math is that advanced mathematics. I have to say that for the advanced mathematics, it might be integrated to the calculation of the engineering and also the advanced mathematical logical skill in the science and mathematics. So this is really important just because for those people who want to be a future become to be an engineering, they have to make sure that they can master for advanced math as well as the calculation skill and logical thinking skills here. So next question is that discuss the causes of problems resulting from teenager smoking. First of all, I have to say from the causes that teenage smoking first, that you mentioned earlier it is coming from the friends to friend persuasion or invitation from friends to smoke. And this is the initial behavior or such a respective behavior that coming from other people too. I have to say that the cause of a problem is that coming from the single family that is ignore or didn't pay attention for the teenage smoking, and it turned out to be a teenage smoking for that can be cause a lot of problems later on. So I'm going to say that for the problem resulting from a teenager smoking, I have to say that just because in reality, we have to understand that the problem from teenage smoking can be caused from the distances from friend to friend interaction or pure interactions here. And this is the reason why that it can make a problem for learning or even societal problem just because when they become smoking, they just stick to their friends, not only for their family. So this is a reason why that they can be break up later on, and it causes a problem not just only for schooling, but for a future daily life later. Yep. นะฮะประมาณนี้เดี๋ยวให้เวลา10 นาทีนะครับ
โอเคครับ
Okay.
uh describe how and why people should อันนี้ตอบไปแล้วข้ามได้ไหมครับ
โอเคโอเคงั้นอันนี้
discuss a public health concern that you believe is serious enough to warrant immediate attention. Um, I think is about a hospital because uh 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 because is hospital is slowly to get people to into minute. Yes. The major environmental procurement what you believe should be done about it. It's about war horse because is people cut the wood to build a house to use the food. Yes, and involve is have a little tree. Yes, this kind how a person achieve fame and fortune and how it change the daily life. Mm, I'm not sure this question. Describe how convenience change people life.
Mhm.
I think is change so much because if um is about travel to another, yes.
Mhm. Okay, good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Okay. So discuss public health concern that you believe it is serious enough to warrant immediate attention. I have to say that a public concern that I believe it is serious enough is that the um, the impact of global warming that is can impact to public health concern. I have to say that just because when the air pollution is a lot, the air pollution and the public health should be concerned about lung crisis or even the something happened to the lung or even airborne diseases. I can say just because this is might be a very immediate attention because there is an immediate attention to deal with this kind of problem just because around people that can using airborne contamination or even airborne disease contamination um, it is a part of our life that we have to live a life with airborne connection. And I have to say that lung diseases, for example, pneumonia or airborne and destructive, right? That can be a harm for public health, especially for the coronavirus or even the a plus form of various form of coronavirus. Then it turned out to be more an immediate action that we are going to make sure that it might be decreasing as much as possible. I think that's just because it is originally coming from COVID-19 outbreak, which is far beyond controlling or solid management that is required to a very immediate attention. And also that we have to make sure that the attention might be fully covered to other people too. And this is really a public health concern. It's not just only for the disease that contaminated and connected to other people from time to time, but it is a part of our life, our immediate attention that might be really important to make sure that it is going to be real. I have to say that just because when we talk about public health and public concern, that is a thing that rooted from our life changes, especially for a climate change behavior. Then it turned out to be more a public health concern, and it needs a very immediate attention here. So I think that it is a part of our life crisis and trauma and other thing that might be exacerbated for the health concern here. And this is really important for all of us to make a more harmonious attention that go through the information that can be long lasting here. And a public health concern can be manageable, can be controlled, can be manipulated, and can be segregated with a call for in any immediate